For years you listened to your favorite content creators talk about how scandalous this creature can be, but yet some of you still do not believe. Maybe it's best you hear it from the horse's mouth. On this episode of Clubhouse Chronicles, we will be listening to confessions of a modern gold digger.
Okay. He said he'll do a room for the men and the women should do a room for the women. Is that not what they said? Yes? No? Whoever was there? Okay. With that being said, did your elders teach you how to keep a man? Come on, guys. Mute up. Did your elders teach you how to keep a man? Hi, Ms. Ashani.
Hey.
Don't be shy. Let's not all talk at once now when the room is small.
I would say, I guess, yeah. I mean, my parents was mad conservative, but I'm more on Summer Walker's type time. Like, I pay my own bills. I don't have to do shit. So, yeah, that's what it is. Because my parents is boomers. They was born in the '60s, so they got that pick me type timing. And I was like, listen, if he not paying my bills, he don't get to tell me nothing.
So, okay. What do you mean when you say pick me?
Like the Summer Walker song. I don't know if you listened to her new album when it was like
Mm,
my
no.
yeah, she has this song called Mind Your Mouth. Like, hush baby, mind your mouth. You don't want to hurt his ego. Stuff like that. Just being stepping on eggshells with him, not saying what you want to say, dressing a certain way, just literally revolving your whole life around centering men. That was the way you were gonna keep a man. And me, I'm like, why would I do that if I don't necessarily need a man? So that's how
Mm,
different generations have different ways of thinking.
understood. Understood.
Because back in their time, like I said, my mother was born in the '60s. She probably did need a man. You needed a man to have a bank account. You needed a man to be in the house. But it's a different day and age. We don't necessarily, quote unquote, need a man. So why are we centering our lives around one? It's a different time.
So let me ask you, young one. You made an interesting statement. You are young. I'm older than you. Accept it. It's okay. It's okay. I could be your older sister, so I'm going to call you young one. Just accept it in love. It's okay. Okay? It's okay. All right, young one. I love that you're resilient and you're strong. But do you think that you only need a man to pay all your bills?
Um, no, no, but that's most of it. The M in man stands for money, doesn't it? So it's like, if a man isn't paying all my bills, if he isn't making life easier to me, what responsibility do I have to listen to whatever the hell he's saying or quote unquote keep a man? A man need to learn how to keep me. Shit, that's the energy I'm rolling with.
And you know what? That's the energy that a lot of women have today, and I get it. I I understand. However, our,
So,
no, no, go ahead. We're having a conversation, before the room gets chaotic and I mute up and let them run amok. So this is the only time we're gonna have an honest conversation, right? And I've always loved you because you're very honest. You never gave a hell what anyone thought. I love that about you. You kept it a buck. What is this weird looking car? They make cars really weird looking nowadays. What is that? It looks like a bug. Anyway, um, Fabian, do you think men have more value than just their money?
you asking me?
Yes, mommy.
Oh,
To
yeah,
you.
absolutely, absolutely.
I don't know. That didn't seem honest to me. I don't know if
Because
that
I'm
was
thinking, when I'm
sincere.
saying absolutely, I'm thinking about my brothers and I'm thinking about the men in my family. So
Mm-hmm.
if we're talking about men in general, yes. But if we're talking about the man that I'm dating and that I'm supposed to be quote unquote keeping, then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of value resides in his resources. So yeah, but you can't blame my elders for that. They tried to save me. I'm telling you, they're still trying to save me to this day. But but I ain't
She said,
going.
"Don't blame them. It's me." Okay. All right. So it's you.
Absolutely.
Why hasn't it worked for you? Why do you think it hasn't worked for you?
Cause like I said, it's a different time. It's a different time. We can make our own money. We can survive without men. Like saying, "Oh, you're gonna die alone," doesn't hit the same anymore because we all know that women outlive men, so we're gonna die alone regardless. So that little, fear tactic doesn't work anymore. most of us,
Um.
most of us in my generation are not even having kids. So if we're not even planning to have kids, then the whole coupling up thing doesn't even work because it's like we don't even want kids, so we don't even need to get married. Like,
Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Oh, now you show up. How nice.
Sorry, I was doing some.
Okay. Why do you think that in your eyes men have just been reduced to money?
because back in the day, that was their bargaining power. I'm not going to divorce my husband because our kids need a roof over our head and our kids need a nice school to go to. And that was their bargaining power. I can't divorce my husband because I can't hold a bank account without having a husband. But now that they don't have any bargaining power, then that's why they reduced. They did it to themselves. It wasn't me who did it. It was them. No,
So you're saying men reduce their own value?
absolutely. They self-proclaimed as the protectors and providers, and we were supposed to be the woman taking care of the home. And that was the reason why we would put up with their BS because if we didn't, we wouldn't have a provider and protector. But now in 2024, we could protect ourselves. We could provide for ourselves. Why are we trying to quote unquote keep a man? Or why?
Because men are more than just money, right? We need them. You don't think so?
Absolutely not. I need air. I need water. I need shelter. A man, I don't think so. But that's just
What
me.
about when life gets so hard? You don't need them to sometimes lift those burdens, just not even financially, just
Man, if you could ask any woman when life is getting hard, 10 times out of 10, it's because of the man. Sometimes when we crying in the shower, it don't because life getting hard. It's because a man did something to break a heart or something. So no, I
so
don't
you
take
think
pride in
men
that.
are to cause because you think men are to cause the heartbreak.
Yeah, men will let you bring them down. Men will bring you down if you let them.
Can someone make Dr. B come up so he can get a bean because he's acting very, very, very machismo? I don't know what's wrong with him. He's been acting like a perpetual child today.
Absolutely. I'm about to remove him because I'm so sick of his behavior. Get up here now. Get up
Get
here.
up here.
I thought so.
Ay,
I
Jesús.
thought
This is
so.
wild.
I thought so, Negro.
All right,
Hello.
Dr. Villa, ¿tú estás feliz?
Tú
Yeah,
estás
I'm alright.
feliz, sí, por favor.
So, Ms. Ashani, and again, I love your honesty. Pero, mommy, okay, besides money and resources, what value does men have to you, Ms. Ashani? Get up here, Dr. Alba. You've been running from our rooms for a while.
I mean, I guess, community. I love having men in my community. Like I said, I got brothers, I have nephews, so they add to the community with their unique wisdom, I guess you can say. But
But the men in your personal life, you don't necessarily think they have any value outside of their resources.
I mean, not they don't have value, but that's if they don't have resources, it's little value. Put it there. Like that's the number one thing is
Okay,
the resource.
got you. It's all right. It's the little value. So outside of what little value? That little value, what is that?
I guess it's intimacy, being close with them and having quote unquote love. If y'all believe in that, but other
No, no,
than
no, not y'all. Do you believe in that? Don't y'all us. Do
that, do
you believe in that?
yeah, I mean, I guess not how everybody else might, but I believe in love, of course.
Have
But
you
not
ever been in
just,
love?
of course, yeah, but I've seen love more in outside of my romantic relationships, more in my friendships and sisterhood, which I think is important. But yeah, that's how I feel about it.
So basically, these men are disposable to you.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm saying if they don't have any resources and stuff, I'm not gonna be trying to quote unquote keep a man. I'm the prize. A man needs to try to keep me, or I'm out. That's how I think about it. I'm not trying to try to keep a man because as soon as a man tell me he don't want me, I'm out. I don't never let a man tell me he don't want me twice. Why am I trying to keep him? Like uh-uh.
In your opinion, how many young women do you think like you in your generation, my young one?
I would say maybe like 50%. It should be more, but like 50%. But a lot of them
Wow.
are still hung up on that fairy tale Disney princess love. So they still have this fantasy of men that doesn't exist. But yeah, 50%. A lot of girls my age, they're not looking to have kids because it's like, what's the point? Be
Wow.
a broke baby mama? Like, be a single wife? Be a single mother in a marriage? Like, you're not trying to
Wait,
look cute with a
what's a single mother in a marriage? What is that?
like you're married, but you're still doing all the responsibilities in regards to childcare. So you're basically a single mother, but you're married. It happens more often than you think.
Hmm.
Like you have husbands that don't even know their child's personal care provider, don't even know their child's allergies, stuff like that.
Right. That sucks.
So wait,
Okay.
I was driving, so
I'm
not
driving
knowing
too.
not knowing the name of the PCP makes a single mom. I'm
Yes,
learning new
because
things every
if
day.
you don't know
That's
the
ridiculous.
intricate details of your child, then yes, your wife is a single mother. You need to know their eye color, you need to know their allergies, you need to know the name of their doctor, the name of their teacher, because the wife is going to know all of that. God forbid she passes tomorrow, you're not going to know nothing. Like you're not going to know nothing. Like, yeah, but that's normalized in the marriage because a woman is supposed to do everything. But no, I don't want that reality for me and my sisters.
So how many? Okay, so you said over 50% of women, in your opinion, of your generation, view men just as resources.
Not as
Okay.
resources, but we don't idolize marriage in a way that our mothers and grandmothers are. And I would say my generation would probably be like 95 to 2005 because I was born 99.
So that your generation, in your opinion, is a generation that desires sugar daddies.
No, not at all. Like I feel like y'all trying to no. We just know
We're
that we
old.
could
We
be
don't. We're just trying to
independent.
understand we're old.
I'm 87. I was born
Damn,
87.
you
So
young.
shut up, Dr. B. I'm old. She was born 99. I'm born 87. You're saying that I'm old. She's a young one.
I'm saying you're young too, comparative to like real talk Tiff. Ain't she like
Leave
70?
Tiff alone. Leave Tiff alone.
I thought
Tiff
she
is
was like
beautiful.
70.
Not too much on Tiff.
I thought Tiff was like 70.
You sure do.
I
Cause them
mean,
1998ers can't come close to what Tiff look like.
wait, we're not gonna start lying, telling tales
Okay.
out of school.
Okay.
Tiff, you know, don't mind Tiff.
Hello, beautiful light.
Hi, baby. How are you, my love?
Dr. B is so in love with me, he can't help but say my name at least
You
once.
That's
had
a fact.
18 work husbands. No,
Um,
You see him?
I let them all go for
no,
you, my
you
love.
didn't. You married your husband. Did your work husbands come to your wedding?
What's wrong
Oh,
That's
with you?
He
wild.
said 18 work husbands. What is wrong with him?
What is
They got a
wrong with
group
this
chat and
nigga?
everything. Amber talking about we gonna come up and be like, nah, we don't approve of this. So,
What is wrong with this nigga? Yeah, what is wrong with you, Dr. B?
It's
Hermano, get the
always
fuck
him,
up.
bruh.
It's always him.
name of the
Oh
group
my
chat is
god.
fuck her.
Oh my god. So okay, all right. All right, Mrs. Shani. Do you desire children one day?
No, I don't want children because I don't know what the hell is going on in the world right now. So, no.
I mean, that's fair. If you don't want children. Mhm.
I'm not mad at the young generation. Like I know a girl who's like 27 and she is like, I want a sugar daddy. And I'm like, well, shit, if you can find one, like, pimp him. So the young generation knows what they want. They don't want to be mothers. They don't want to be wives. They just want to have dick and vibes. Go on trips, get a little allowance. They cool with it. Like, I ain't mad with it. I'm old. Like, I'm not about to be that way, but I support them. Like, you can find a man who'll do
No, I'm
it.
not
I get
judging.
it.
I'm not judging
I
her.
want an
I'm
allowance
not judging her
sometimes
at
too.
all.
Shit. I'm spending money all day for my kid's birthday. I want to spend somebody else's money. So I'm not mad at you.
And it's crazy because like this is the first generation that has the freedom to do that. Like the best invention didn't come out to 1960. Like birth control wasn't invented till 1960. So my mother couldn't live like me, honestly, because she had no choice. So I mean, I feel like we got to take advantage of these times.
If your mother lived like you, though, you wouldn't be here to talk to us.
And I bet she was living her best life. I don't know.
Mm.
Like that would have been her prerogative. And we got to start living like that because Project 2025 come around and we be back in the 60s. So shit, let me take advantage of my freedoms now.
What's Project 2025?
Trump, some, it's a
What is,
lot. It's giving Handmaid's Tale.
He's trying to
wait, we're
limit.
talking.
He's trying to limit women's ability to get divorces, abortions. Yeah, it's basically Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, yeah, sign me up for that. I need more of
It's
that shit.
Christian
Wait,
nationalism. So kind of like
Sign me up.
reverting back to the old times where you see these irreconcilable differences for divorces. They're trying to
Oh, yeah,
eliminate
we making
that.
America great again. Who
They're
is this
ban
Trump? Because I'm voting for that.
yeah, and they're banning abortion like laws, rights
That's a
everywhere.
fact.
Like
These
they're not
niggas shouldn't be
even
having abortions
trying
anyway.
to negotiate, trying to negotiate
But if Trump
those
tried to
type of
say that,
things.
you can't divorce from reconcilable differences, sign me up. I don't even believe in marriage. I'm just helping my niggas out.
oh, really? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, wouldn't that mean that more people most likely wouldn't get married?
I don't believe in marriage, so I don't think they should get married anyway.
Yeah, they just wouldn't be able to get an abortion for the men that they get pregnant for that they don't like.
How you getting pregnant by men you don't like?
Okay, we'll have another conversation about that. I have to look at this Project 2025. But I mean, I don't know. She doesn't want to get married. She doesn't want to have children. Do you think that your mindset will ever change, Mrs. Shani?
Of course. If I meet, yeah, of course. If I meet the perfect man tomorrow, all of that could change. But for now, I'm not going to live my life off the concept that if I live this way, I won't be able to get married. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to wear a skirt down to my ankles thinking that if I don't, I'm not going to get married. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to center my life around men.
Shawty, question:
No, I understand that.
Would
I
you have a
understand that.
child with an NBA superstar,
No, because I don't want to be a baby mama.
even if his contract is worth 200 something million?
How much is the check every month? I don't know. But then
say
again,
you get say you get 60K a month.
I would my baby into that, honestly, because they're going to be the ones losing out. So I'll say, I would have to, no, I wouldn't do it.
So have you done the math
Because
of 60K a month? How much that is a year? What's 6 times 12?
it don't matter. You don't bring kids into that lifestyle. They're going to be losing out because they're not going to have a
Wait,
daddy.
nobody said that daddy wasn't gonna be there. I just said, would you have a baby with a nigga who's an NBA star?
No, I just I didn't want to be a baby mom or a single married woman. So no, unless he's
Mm,
like LeBron and he's a family man, hell no.
mm.
So it's very important for you to be taken care of financially. That is very, and I'm not knocking it. That's very important to you.
If I'm having a man, absolutely. Because if I'm not, I could just be single. Like that's the whole point of
Okay.
a man. The M in man stands for money.
And your elders did try to teach you how to keep a man. What did they teach you for give me some examples. What did the women in your family tell you to do?
They told me to get a boyfriend, always trying to police how I dress. And whenever I'm going on trips, they be like, "Is that your boyfriend?" I'd be like, "No," and he'd be like, "Well, Michaelia," and I'm like, "It's just a trip." Like they be trying to save me. I'm not gonna lie. But it's just like, I'm young. I could do what I want. My body, my choice. And they just don't understand that because the generation they grew up, it was no choice. So they kind of had to stick to that binary. But yeah, to this day, my mother would be like, "You going out like that?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, like summertime." So
What
And
did
you
your
think
Raquel? You asking a lot of questions. I want to ask one
I'm
now.
sorry,
We got to
Bobby.
go
I
back
just
and
wanted
forth.
to know
All
if
right, go ahead.
no, I just want to know. So, like, I really want to reiterate. And you think a lot of women think like this now? Because this is something new to me. I didn't know.
Ashani, I just did the math. $13 million over 18 years if you have that baby. 13 million and some change, a little over $13 million. Three, and child support is taxed, so you get all that money. So you wouldn't have an NBA baby for $13 million. 13 million with an
why I gotta
NBA.
be a baby though? Why can't I just be on payroll? Like
Wait,
I don't want to bring a
payroll
baby. Why can't I just be on salary? I don't want to have a baby and have to.
salary. So that's sounding like another P word.
I mean, you brought up the scenario. I'm just going along with whatever you're talking about. But
Well,
no,
so yeah, the baby is I can understand, right? Because that's pretty much society kind of doesn't look down upon mothers. However, a salary sounds more like prostitution. Are you okay with that? Are you just fucking for a few dollars every now and then? You come through when he call and you get paid.
no.
You rather do that than have a
I'm
child?
saying if I'm fucking with an NBA player, don't they girlfriends get like allowance or something? I don't know. I wouldn't have a baby just for money. Like I'd rather just give me the dollar. Why do I have to have a baby to do it? Like, am I selling my wound? No, absolutely not.
So Ty, I mean, she went out from me, but so just right there, selling coochie's cool, but the womb is a no go. Is what I accept because I didn't hear it because my phone went out. So coochie selling cool because I support coochie sellers, but that's cool over having kids. Like I'm with that. If we selling coochie now and not having kids no more, that's a movement I can get behind. Coochie over kids, I with that. Chad, you with that?
No, like the girls who have babies for retirement plans, that is a form of selling coochie because Drea, she had a baby with an 18-year-old basketball player for a check. Yeah, that's fucked up.
But that money's for
I,
sure.
re- I
That's guaranteed. 18 years. He may get tired of you selling coochie and ain't no more money coming.
But that's fucked up because you're literally bringing a human life into the world for a check. Like I still have morals at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not gonna bring a baby into this world for a damn check. Like I'm trying to get into heaven still. You know what I'm saying? But I would respect her more if she was just his girlfriend and she just got allowance every month for being his girlfriend. Okay, cool. But having a baby just for a guaranteed check, that's fucked up. No, am I wrong? Am I
As an elder statesman, let me give you some advice. Always take the money on the table, the guaranteed money on the table.
anyway? Next caller, because that's just a crazy scenario. Like I'm not having no baby for no damn check. I could die. Like I could die on that.
Okay. Okay. No, okay. So you said that men had little value, and you said it was love. Besides love and being close to them, what other value do you feel that they have?
They could change a tire. They used to be able to build houses. They can go fight for our country if we need protection. Um, they can mount TVs on the wall. It's a bunch of things. But a lot of men these days are not being men. They're on Clubhouse chatting. They're not building houses and dying in wars like they used to. So when it comes to that, yes, money is the most important thing when it comes to relationships because that's all men learned how to do is have money and resources. They don't know how to do anything else.
Hmm, okay. Okay. What do you got, ladies? Do you guys feel like her? I mean, I truly want to understand.
Well, it's common knowledge. I don't feel that way. I shared last night an instance where the Mister and our daughter, um, the 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 value that he just brings into our lives just by being present, the way he's uh, about self love is. You know,
Yeah.
he recognized that it, that man. He asked her, you know, she's always telling us she loves us and hugging everybody and all the things. She's the baby of the house, the only girl. And he was like, well, do you love yourself? And she was like, I don't know. He was like, oh, okay. And immediately set about doing the things to fix that. He has her every evening when they have their daddy daughter time to catch up on their day. She has to tell him 5 new things that she loves about herself. And after she gives him her 5 things, she has to go into the bathroom, look herself in the mirror, and tell herself that she loves herself. And her father, is doing this for her. It has nothing to do with money. It has nothing to do with him doing anything in his, with his hands. It's who he is and him recognizing the power that he has in the lives of his children. He saw that there was a lack and he immediately moved to fill that space. And that's just one example. It's my favorite right now because it's the most recent. But the person that he is, it rarely has anything to do with money. Now he spoils us, and I appreciate that. Uh, you know, when I had COVID, when I was super sick and I had to slow down with my businesses, he it was never a question of whether or not he was going to step up further. He just and he's never taken his foot off the pedal. He just does. He doesn't ask, he just does. He sees a lack and he feels it in whatever capacity that is, and that's because of the person that he is. It has nothing to do with money. I absolutely need that man in my life. Even if it all fell apart as far as our relationship, I would still need him in my life. And we definitely need him in the lives of our children. He's too important.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So, Ms. Ashani, hearing that, does that change your mind a little bit more or no? Come on, Ms. Ashani. Come on, young one.
Yeah, like I said, that's the men in her generation. These new niggas that done came out ain't the same ones that Miss Real Talk Tiff is talking about. You know, it's a new whole package of men out here, and they not like, the men talking about. So it's different.
So so maybe that's what I'm not understanding. What are these new men nowadays like? Like what are these new men um what are they doing that is just off-putting to women now? Maybe I need to understand that perspective.
Well, ask any '90s girl. These '90s babies, and even if you talk, I don't talk to no 2000 babies, but these '90s babies, man, they all about fuck bitches, get money. Bitches ain't shit. They just all about trying to get what they want and be out. So I'm gonna get what I want and be out first. That's what it came down to. So yeah, these new men, they don't have no respect for women, and they're not marriage minded. So why are we the only ones being told to be marriage minded?
Okay. So the men today are basically not men. Okay, so you're saying that 90s babies and men today are not men
Of
who
virtue?
are
No,
they're not men of virtue. Okay.
absolutely not.
So 90s babies and up is what you're saying.
You said '90s babies, what?
90s babies and up.
Yeah,
They're not of
'90s
virtue.
babies and down. I don't even know what them 2000 babies is on, but from what I heard as hell. So yeah,
Okay.
I don't think it'd be
So you're
wise.
saying that these men today, all they want to do is just have sex and fuck, fuck, fuck. They don't want a family.
Yeah, they want to have sex with the least amount of effort, and
What do you mean least amount of effort? What does that mean?
like they want to take you on a coffee date. Like if you don't ask for nothing, they always say the girls who ask for nothing deserve the most. No, if you don't ask for nothing, you will get nothing. They will take you on a coffee date. They will take you on a smoothie date. They will even take you to the park if you let them. So
Wait, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with
I
coffee
mean, nothing
dates?
would be wrong with that if they were marriage minded, but these men just want to fuck. So it's like they want to fuck you with the least amount of
Oh.
effort. They want to give you the facade. They want to make it seem like, oh, it's perfect and everything. And yeah, so I don't know if
So
any,
basically, what you're saying is that they'll take you on a coffee date or they'll take you for a walk in the park, and then immediately it's like, let's fuck,
I mean, that's their
maybe?
intention. That's all these little rascals want to do. That's why I tend to date older because these men, these boys in the '90s, they're just, I don't know, they're just a
So
mess.
let's say if they were to take you to an expensive restaurant or fly you away to some exotic place, would you be more amped to have relations with them then?
Absolutely, I'm all for first dates being out the country. I've done that twice actually. So yeah,
Oh wow.
for that. But coffee dates and smoothie dates, I can do that with my little brother. Why am I going with a random man?
Wow.
Okay. This is new. Dr. Albert, I needed you yesterday and you ran from the room, but
Man,
okay,
I've
it's
been so
done.
busy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Uh-huh. It's okay. It's okay.
So,
It's okay. I forgive
so,
you.
so no, I had a question, if you didn't mind,
Oh no, no, I don't mind. Go ahead.
for Miss Shawnee. Shawnee, quick clarification. And by the way, what you're saying about '90s babies, quote unquote, I get your point. I'm 30. I'll be 38 in August. Um, in my profession, I work with a lot of younger men. Well, not say a lot, but there are a good portion of them, and you meet circles of them as well, particularly uh, just coming into the profession. I'm in education. So I get your point. Even those that are degreed, I get your point. A good portion of them are still on that mindset. I know I was on the same mindset when I was in my 20s. So they may have very well been. There definitely were girls that were my age then that were saying the same thing. So I get your point in general. But my other question is, you said that if somebody were to fly you out and that were the first date, you would be more inclined to sleep with them or more inclined to engage in what they have to offer? Not necessarily money wise, but just them interacting with them further. I just wanted to clarify.
Both. I'd be more engaged in having a relationship with them because if you fly me out on the first date, I'm thinking, what's the next date gonna be? Tokyo? You know, it's exciting. I like excitement, so I would say both.
Okay. So now I will say this. I There are individuals that I know that are my age, maybe 3 years younger, um, early 30s, that may not be able to fly you out on the first date, but they could take you to some really nice, extravagant, adventurous places on the first date. And their only goal is to woo you, uh, undress your mind, make you comfortable, give you the fantasy, and have sex with you. So you, from what you were saying, is that's what you rather not deal with, the ones that woo you and they're just trying to bone, as opposed to ones that woo you and they actually want to pursue something with you. Which one is it for you?
You said if they don't fly me out, they'd taking me where?
I said if they take you somewhere extravagant, somewhere adventurous, somewhere nice, somewhere that is of high quality, they're not necessarily flying you out. But whether they fly you out or not, it's just somewhere that really uh, tickles your fancy. It really gets you to looking forward to what's next. Are are you more inclined to the one that is still doing that and still trying to have sex with you, or the one that is doing that and actually trying to pursue something with you?
Yeah, I'd rather not the one who takes me a nice restaurant just to impress me, just to get in my pants. I'd rather not have that one.
I respect. So you ain't no different than the young ladies that are in their 30s with me now. So a lot of the people that I know in my age group, we married now with kids and family, and them young ladies felt the same way. When I was in my early 20s, they felt the same way. I did the college. They would say I did the college thing. We did the high school thing. Like, keep my attention. Show me more than just you being an excited young whippersnapper that's trying to get your issue off. Um, Pursue me beyond my, my your eyes on my chest or my dress and the conversation that you want to have because you want to have sex. Um, Respect, Shawnee. You saying if anybody is in their mid 30s or late 30s, I'm pretty sure somewhere out throughout your 20s, correct me if I'm wrong, ladies, you were saying the same thing. And I know when I was in my 20s, most of the guys we college educated or not, most of my friends are college educated and graduated and masters and things of that nature. We was on the same thing. So I respect Shawnee. That's makes perfect sense to me.
I don't. I can't say that I was of that same mindset in my 20s. I mean, I always knew I was going to be a wife and a mother. I always knew that, and I was fine if it was mother and not wife. I was a third generation single mom in my 20s. Um, as long as I got the babies, that's where I was at. But until I became the mother of sons, have, I didn't really see value in men in general. I saw value in my brothers, my uncles, um, because of what they did for me. And they were big on the protection and the provision, as the young lady said earlier. They were heavy on the protection, heavy on the make sure, come to me before you ask anybody for anything. My brothers and my uncles. Don't be out here asking these dudes for nothing. If you need something, you come to one of us before anybody. That was what we were raised in, and us girls were taught to not look to need anybody outside of the family. Um, in some cases, I was really discouraged from pursuing serious relationship because even my brothers and uncles was like, these niggas out here ain't shit. You know, keep them around for a little while, get what you need, but you keep it moving. You don't need them. They just gonna use you. Like they had a bad opinion of the men around them. So it was like, what am I supposed to be looking for? But raising sons and seeing just how amazing they were as people, it really changed my perspective. And when I finally reconnected with the mister, we actually grew up together. But when we reconnected, he had a son and I had two sons. And it was just like I saw him completely different. Like I would get into arguments with my brothers about their view on men. I was like, everybody is not like this. This is just the people that you deal with. And they was like, nah, all men think like this. And I'm like, no, this is y'all, how y'all think and the kind of people y'all keep around you. So like it was a big deal when my view on the value of a man started to shift. Um, but I'm glad that it did because I'm grateful that my sons are around women who see value in them outside of their provision and protection. My firstborn was born in 98. He's been engaged now for 2 years. They bought their house together last year because they wanted to get the house out of the way. They don't want extravagant wedding. They want to get married on their property. So they met in college, have a plan, um, and they've been rocking since they met for real. And they've stuck to their plan. So they bought their house last summer, and they'll be getting married next summer once they get some of the finances together from the house purchase. And he's a 90s baby, but he grew up around people who taught him that he was more than just what was in his pockets or what was in his pants. And especially in the house, especially from his mother. I feel like a lot of the young men around us growing up now have that same mentality because their moms do. And if they don't have any strong men around them showing them their value outside of what they can provide and how they can protect, then the influence of their mother is predominant. They believe that's what they're supposed to do because a lot of these moms, these single moms, is out here using their sons as their fill-in mate. And they're making their sons be their man. So they're making their sons go out and get the money so that he can do for her and go see who's at the door in case I need to run. And we just didn't do that here. I'm blessed to say our community, we're not raising our kids like that out here. So not all 90s babies are bad. You just gotta sift through the ones that are. There's hope for you, I promise.
Yeah, I wanted to. I think it's more subjective. Like the young lady just said, this is her upbringing. I know in my family, women were not raised to be lazy, and they were proactive in the family, and they weren't these sheltered flowers. The women would get their ass whooped by the elders. That wasn't that prissy shit. You gonna go out there, you gonna reap what you sow. You mess around with a dude, you get pregnant, you stuck. You gonna take care of that baby. Ain't nobody gonna coddle you. You're gonna get the rules of engagement, and then the responsibility falls on you. And we're not gonna be too quick to come at somebody because a lot of times when a guy does women in our family wrong, she end up right back with his ass. We'll go take care of him. Next week, she right back with his ass. So there's a certain guideline around that because you can't be raising a spoiled woman and think she's gonna be able to operate in the world. That's not gonna work. And especially not thinking that she can just treat the dude any kind of way and she can come back to us to fall back. No. Because now we gonna look at you. Our family gonna look at you. Like you know how you was raised, so you chose this after you were being raised in our family. That shit on you. So I think it is a subjective circumstance coming from a baseline, and a
Albert,
lot of time, and a lot of
that
time.
that's profound. Say that again. You said, and what could you expound on that? You said you know how you were raised. If you mess up, it's on you. Can you dive into that a little deeper than that? Just wanted to. I haven't heard I'm hearing that growing up all the time, but I know this generation, a lot of people don't understand what that means, or they don't really want to subscribe to it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, women in my era. I mean, I'm 54, so this is a lost thing in a lot of families. But women in my family were trained or taught not to even be approachable because they know what's at stake. They have the pride of their family backing them up. So they were ladies and they carried themselves as such. So if a man approaches, cool, she's not going to give too much intent if she likes you not or not. Not in the Higgins family. You wouldn't even know if she likes you. And then at the moment of you meeting her, either me, other uncles and brothers, you're gonna end up spending some time with us. You're gonna talk to her for a little while. If it gets serious, when she says, I kinda like this guy, we take over. All right, bring him around. Bring him to some barbecues and stuff. We ain't gonna interrogate him, but he gonna hang around us. We're gonna check his habits out. We're gonna visit him and his friends. We're gonna be integrated in his life. But she is gonna be held accountable for her actions. Because if she walks some clown in the door, we're not even concerned with him. We're more concerned with her and her ability to choose properly. So we're not gonna be the bailout for her foolishness. And she definitely not gonna talk that money talk. If we see that she messing with a dude she don't even like, we gonna check her. So what you doing? So you messing with this dude because he just got some bread? No, 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 no. We don't raise broads. Those are broads in my era that only hang around a dude because he supports her ego, but she don't got nothing to do with him. Cause that never ends well. You know what I'm saying? That don't never end well. So a broad is a woman that walk around as an opportunist. She don't really care, let alone about herself. She just want to, make her. She want to feel better, but she don't want to contribute to the betterment of the man. And so the era of the virtuous woman is pretty much gone because they have this general
Wait, can you say that
idea.
again? I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
The era of the virtuous woman. You remember
Wait,
Dr.
say it
B?
again. Can you say it again?
The era of the virtuous woman. Remember when women had virtue?
Man, back when like we had like three channels on TV.
Yes, sir. ABC, NBC, and
Right, you had to
CBS.
turn it with the knob. Click, click, click.
Absolutely. Nah, they just don't. They don't have that because now all niggas ain't shit. Instead of I'm a lady, I have virtue. It's gonna take me a time to find a man. Like women dating 3, 4, 5 times a week, and you a lady? What is that? That sounds like Russian roulette. Like, what are you doing? So we just never. I never came from that culture. I'm gonna be respectful. Never came from this culture.
So I asked. I'm glad you said that, Albert. Um, you got some experience on me. I'm like I said, I'll be 38. You 54, so you've lived life. I like to listen to people that have lived life and experienced life and actually can explain wisdom through experience. So um, I was talking to some middle school girls some years back. I say about 2, 3 years ago. I was working I work at elementary school and I was working at middle school. And the girls were just really having brazen conversations. They were older, middle school girls. Some of them were like 14, about to be 15. A couple of them stayed back a few times, what have you. But they was talking about their boyfriends. So they were about to get out of eighth grade. But some of them, I know one of the young ladies at our school had already had a baby. So I was like, there's no talking them off this cliff of engaging the opposite sex. So I painted this scenario of if all of your teachers have treats and snacks and games for you to play, what about that teacher is going to make you stay in the classroom? We know we could get you to the classroom. What's going to make you stay in the classroom? And in so many words, a lot of these young ladies were very intelligent and very so they were emotionally some most social emotionally intelligent. Instead, a teacher that loves me, teacher that cares about me, teacher that's going to tell me when I'm wrong, teacher that's going to inspire me and push me to be my best self, things of that nature. The teacher that's going to protect me, things of that nature, right? So I said, from that perspective, all y'all talking about y'all boyfriends and the boy you want and the boy you know you can get when you get to high school and this summer and all the rest of that. I said, I don't really want y'all focusing on that, but it seems like that's you all's focus. As you all get older, I said, you're 14 now, you'll be 20 before you know it, you'll be 25 before you know it. Everybody can, all of you all are beautiful young women. You can get the man, but what keeps him? Now you said, I said to those young ladies, you said this teacher, these teachers, these attributes keep you in their classroom. The ones that just got the cake, snake, candy and treats, they get you there, but they not keep you in their classroom. So what things are you going to develop in yourself, reflect on yourself, really pay attention to yourself over the next few years so that your substance speaks more for you than just what than just your look. Now, I haven't seen all those young ladies in a while, but I can tell you, having that conversation with them, we were able to unveil so much more discussion about where they were going and what they needed to be prepared with and how they needed to apply to their life going to high school than many of the conversations that were had that we ever did. And that conversation is a lot to unpack. I saw somebody put that in the chat because it touches nerves, it makes people uncomfortable, makes people have to reflect on flaws and mistakes, men and women that we may have never talked about. But I know Sonora always says, "What's the solution?" So I'll land my plane with this. My solution was starting where it develops and working as a dean of students. That's why I speak to, and that's how I try to paint pictures for my students because I have I had 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds that was seriously not only talking about dating. I had a young lady that said, if I have my baby, I'm not giving up my baby, which she shouldn't if she didn't want to. And it's gonna just be me and my baby. This girl was 12 years old. I had a young lady, like I said, that had a baby when she was 13. I land my plane.
This is JetBlue, Flight 8721 to Alaska. Please prepare for landing. Does JetBlue fly to Alaska? I don't think so.
We don't
It
know.
flies to Japan.
That's what's up.
This is interesting. This is interesting. I know that sometimes we like to blame the elders, but in Ms. Ashani's case, she said her elders did try. It's not their fault. Like, do we? I guess. Go ahead, Ms. Ashani.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not their fault because what Victor was saying, I don't agree with that mindset that you're gonna have to do something extra to keep a man. Let him go. Let him be free. If a man doesn't want you, get another one. Like, we need to stop teaching these young women that they have to do something to make these men stay when these men are gonna do what they want to do regardless. We have to teach them that they are the prize and not no man. Like,
So let me clarify, Shawnee. My point to them was not that they needed to keep a man that does not, as I said, as I was using the correlation of the teachers, that does not preserve them, does not protect them, because it works both ways. It cannot just be the woman has all of these attributes and the man has none. That is asinine. I'm not saying what you're saying is asinine. I have a daughter. Me and my wife have a little girl, 7 years old. I would never tell my daughter that. What I'm saying is, the other side of it is if the person wants to, if you want this man and he wants you and he wants to preserve you, he wants to protect you, he wants to encourage you, he wants to build with you, he wants to support you, he wants to provide for you. What do you now have that sustains his want to keep doing that? What do you now bring to the table intangibly? And I say that again, intangibly, that equals that joins with his desire to be that to you. That was the crux when we got to the nitty gritty of our conversation. That's when we were able to unlock and unveil a lot more things that they were afraid of, nervous about. Some of them didn't know because of their home environment, and they were able to take this information and be ready to apply the best they can getting to high school. My point would never, ever be for a woman to have all of these beautiful, virtuous traits and a man that doesn't want you and you can continue to pull your pearls out under swine's feet. That doesn't make sense. That's not that's unhealthy. But that's my point. Is because they were saying they were talking about their boyfriends and how and talking about quote unquote their young relationships. So that's why that came up that if he's this and you're saying he's this and that and the other, what are you as well, and what are you all together? That's my point.
Okay, thanks for clarifying that. That makes a little bit more
Yes,
sense.
ma'am.
This is your pilot, Dr. B. Thank you for flying JetBlue Flight 1376 from LaGuardia to LAX. Conclusion altitude is going to be about 37,000 feet. It's going to be pretty smooth sailing. Might catch a little bit of turbulence. Sit back, relax, try to get your own time.
Thank you, Dr. B. Mr.
Hilarious.
Shadi, we have a phrase in Spanish. It's called
Coñazo!
no coño, chapeadora.
Tú sabes.
Chape-
Mi
Chapeadora.
favorito, chapeadora.
How do you say chapeadora? What's chapeadora? Let me Google that. Chapeadora in
The
English.
digger of
Chap-
gold.
oh, gold digger?
Si, senora.
Okay, chapeadora. Yeah, gold digger.
Simon.
Do you not kind of feel like women today could come off like gold diggerish? Maybe, Ms. Ashani?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like I said, most of the girls I know are still believing in that fairy tale. So I wish they would, but no, they're not.
Mm.
Gold diggers.
Well, you wish they were gold diggers? I'm sorry.
Listen, gold
I'm
diggers
sorry.
get gold. I'd rather my good sis be a gold digger than be a single baby mother w- getting a check from the government. Okay, if we had to pick one, I'd rather she be a gold digger.
Albert, how
You you
soon do
you
you
older
think
you
they're
older
going to
women got a job on your hands, buddy.
Albert, how soon do you think they're going to legalize prostitution everywhere?
They should. I don't know, man. I don't know why they just
Yeah,
don't.
they have to by
Just
now.
let it happen. I don't know why.
Because it's like
People
all
like
these different
saying,
terms that are basically just coming back to the tree of prostitute. And like I said, I'm not against prostitution. I support hoes. I'm probably the most pro hoe nigga on the app. Get your bread. If it's bread to be get that shit. But we gotta do something about this. Like we gotta stop lying, acting like that's not where it at. It's a prostitution now, and I'm cool with it. Just go ahead and make it legal everywhere.
y'all always calling it that when it's convenient for you, but marriage has always been and has always stemmed from being a business arrangement. So now it's the problem when my homegirls are trying to secure the biggest dowry. She's called a
I mean, I'm
prostitute.
not a problem
Like,
with it.
be
I
for
support you. I'm
real.
just calling it what it is. Like I don't know why we
That's
hate
not
the
what.
term when the behavior
No,
describes that.
that's not what it is. And y'all try to say
Exchanging services for money is prostitution.
nobody said anything of that sort. All
Time,
I said
sex,
is,
energy, all the same.
all I said is I'd rather my homegirls be a gold digger than being a baby mother that's getting a
What
check.
what what are you calling gold? And do you realize what Dr. B just said? Time. Like exchanging your time as a lady that's going to be non-productive is going to be under a false pretense. You rather someone operate in a fraudulent matter, creating playing confidence games. That's called a con game. Playing on a man's confidence, using his ego and leveraging his terrible attitude and play subterfuge with him and give him your valuable time. You don't think that that lacks virtue. You think that you would rather women operate that way.
That's not what I said. I said I'd rather my homegirl actually be a gold digger than to leave with nothing. Like
But
there's a
I'm asking
derogatory
you, do
term.
you know what gold digger means? There's
Yeah,
no
gold
positive
digger
aspect to being a gold digger.
to men. Of course not, because y'all feel like y'all are going to be victims of things when a lot of the men who feel like they're going to be victims of gold diggers don't have any gold to begin with. But I don't see it as a derogatory term because I feel like a gold digger is better than what's normalized, which is dating a man for love, which is intangible, and dating a man for a fleeting, floating feeling. You know, that's how I feel about it. But to say that's prostitution, that's just shaming a woman for no reason because marriage has always been a business arrangement.
Why would women be shamed for what they are?
Because no woman like that's not what they are at
That's
all.
literally the definition. Dr. Albert, so in your expert opinion, because I think I heard something. So she said she would want more of her sisters to be gold diggers. And concurrently, she said a lot of niggas don't have gold to dig. Isn't that counterproductive? You want a lot of women to go into a career where they won't be successful? Since men don't have the gold to dig, why would you want more women to be gold diggers?
No, I said most of the men who feel like they're going to be victims of gold diggers don't even have any gold.
That's most men, right? That's most men. So
Yeah, but
you're saying what I'm saying. So
it
most men, you say,
depends.
don't have gold to dig. So why would you want more women to become gold diggers when ain't that much gold to dig? Like everybody who went west didn't get gold in the gold rush. A lot of people lost everything trying to find it. They were out there in the water trying to wade, find the gold nuggets. There wasn't no nuggets. Like only a few people got rich off the gold rush. So you're telling all the women, hey, let's become gold diggers, but there's very little gold to be dug. Economically, that doesn't seem wise. Dr. Albert, what do you think?
Well, I was going to ask Mr. Shanti, what is the moral and ethic of being a gold digger? What is the justifiable morals and ethic of being a gold digger? What is your interpretation of morals and ethics?
Morals and ethics is dating a man thinking that he's in love with you and that he's going to marry you, but really he's just putting on a persona so that he could get in your pants. And then once he gets in your pants and you end up having a baby, you're left with nothing. Instead of that timeline, actually date men who can do something for you. So even if you are ended up with a baby, you are ending up in a bad situation, you still have something to show for it. That's what I'm
So,
saying. I'm
but I asked you
one
gold
or
digger. So hold on a second. That sounds like projections, and maybe somebody did that to you. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is in the context of women who are gold diggers. The premise of morals and ethics. What would that? How would that subsist? How would that exist within a woman that is a gold digger that purposely wants to be a gold digger?
I mean, the morals and
Where are
ethics,
the morals and ethics of being a gold
the
digger?
morals and ethics would just be honest about your intentions. Period. Point blank.
So,
Like I'm
if
here.
I said honestly, I'm going to rob you, sir. I walk up to Dr. B. I say, man, I'm going to be honest. I want to rob you. Get on the ground, count to 100. I'm going to steal your money. So
Can I
since I
take
was
my credit
honest,
cards out,
it's it.
please? Don't take my credit cards.
If
Leave
I
my
was being,
license too.
I might have to take that so you don't, I scare you a little bit. So if I do that, it's okay because I'm being honest. So that's that. Wouldn't that contradict morals and ethics? When you have a serious ethical problem, if
I
you
don't
said, "Hey,
think,
man, I'm committing a crime, but I'm being honest."
but y'all thinking of it like that's what I'm saying. The men who don't have gold think they're going to be victims of gold diggers, but most of the time, a gold digger is being honest. It's not being robbed because there's men out there who want to spend their money on women. There's men out there who love to see that their woman is actually being taken care of.
That's
You
not a
know, that's
trick, and that's a man who loves his woman, of course. But what you're
or
talking
women.
about, what you're talking about is a trick, and she's turning the trick.
I
That's a
mean,
Which
trick.
makes that prostitution.
that's what y'all said. Y'all said gold digger
Okay.
having virtuous women, and I said I'd rather my homegirls be the one who's getting rather than the one that's getting got. Put it like that.
Also, you
I'd
talking
rather be
about an insecure woman.
insecure. What are you
Yeah, because
talking about?
she said, I'm going to get him before he gets me.
Absolutely, because these
Oh,
men are
and
not.
you think that's normal?
I think it's better than the
Wow.
alternative than being
I,
honest. Being
crying
honest
in Benz, don't cry in a Honda, huh?
because men out here are not honest with their intentions. So I'd rather my homegirls walk out the situation better than they left rather than them going in there being their true, honest, virtuous selves and being downgraded by these men who just want one thing. So, I mean, at this point, we're just talking in circles, but at the same time, I'd rather my homegirls be on the better end of the spectrum. But that's just me.
So Dr. Albert spoke to the morality. I'm not the morality nigga because I don't really care about morality. It's subjective to me. I care about the economics because I'm the finance guy, and it just seems like it's a bad business advice to give women to be like, "Yo, let's all become gold diggers," but ain't that much gold out here. Like y'all all now become competition for the little bit of gold. So you might be fucking up your own bag trying to rally the troops around you. Now I did because the Good Man Bible said that your IG's pretty lit. I went and I looked. I was like, damn, I follow her. I didn't even know I followed you. I didn't know who you was. But because I saw the ass, I ain't gonna lie. Um, so you're saying men only want one thing outside of the ass. What else are you offering the men's? Cause I don't know. Like looking at the IG, I don't think men come to the IG like, yo, do you want to go to like a dance recital? Like I think they coming with their intentions. Looking at this IG and from you being on where some of the trips you've been at, like DR and these Mexico trips you've been at. See, brothers must be coming like, hey man, what's popping? Are you trying to fly is out or wizard? So you saying they coming with shenanigans like I'm trying to make you a good, honest woman with this thong on that you have, this purple thong that your ass is eating up, but I want to take you and let you meet my grandmamas and learn her recipes and stuff and want you to cook from scratch. Is that what you saying men are saying? They want that, but they really want one thing?
I'm not speaking for me because, like I said, I already know what I want. I don't listen. I'm speaking for my homegirls. But for me, you're judging me based on a picture
I
act.
I haven't judged
Everybody
you at
knows.
all. I'm your supporter. I'm just asking what men are
Yeah.
saying. Are they?
I
Because you
mean,
said they're saying with they're coming with intentions that ain't real. So I'm like, what are the intentions? What are they saying?
obviously, I don't look like every day. Like you see me in person, I look like a regular,
Girl,
regular
you got
baddie.
that
But
ass every day. Stop lying. But do
all
wait,
right,
do you put it on like and take it off? They got that now.
listen. I'm just saying for the girlies, not for me, because you already know I'm a gold digger. I don't give a fuck. But I'm saying for my homegirls who still believing in that princess, like Disney princess theory, I'd rather them be on the other side than to get hurt. That's all I'm saying. But you already know what I stand for. So we don't have to argue about that. But for the other girls, yeah, I wish they would at least get a Benz out the situation instead of getting a baby. Get the Benz first, and then maybe the baby. But these girls are just getting the baby, and nothing else, not a ring, nothing. Like if they had a mindset like me, like I don't have to keep a man got to keep me. Maybe things would be different. If they were more selfish like me, I think black women being selfish is the best thing that you could do. Because this whole entire life, we're taught to be selfless and we're taught to put other people's needs above our own. No, hell, fuck that. Like I'm gonna put my needs before anybody else. I'm not carrying the black community on my back like my grandmother did. I'm gonna put my needs first. That's the best thing you could do, and maybe things will be different.
You know,
So,
Dr. B, I stand corrected too, man. You're right. Morals and ethics are subjective because I'm cognitive dissonance is abound
What's
on this one. So
morally
I stand
correct
corrected,
about
brother.
that? Because they asked me, would I have a baby for money? I'm like, hell no, I wouldn't do that. So what's morally? I have morals. What's morally unsound about what I'm saying? Being selfish is morally unsound to be selfish?
If
No.
your morals are based on Judeo-Christian principles, because you mentioned you want to get into heaven, so I'm thinking that they are, then yes, selfishness is looked down upon and frowned upon as being wrong. It's not moral.
so I was having a conversation. I had it publicly where Dr. Albert wasn't here. It's okay. Um, he abandoned IRL, but it's okay. Um, but had a conversation with my daughter yesterday, and I understand that it was my or it was as if that she was taking on my burdens or my pain as if I wasn't willing to do that. Do you think that's what you're innately doing, Mrs. Shawnee? And I'm just asking because just asking. Do you think that you're taking on what you assumed to be a tough life from the women before you and applying it as if they weren't happy, as if they didn't choose to do that?
Yeah, I think I am because people say, "Oh, black women shouldn't be lazy." Why not? Like our ancestors worked for free. I feel like my generation was meant to be lazy because our ancestors had to work so much that maybe we should be able to kick back. Maybe black women in this generation are able to be selfish because we were being selfless for so long. I watched my mother work like her whole life and her suitcase looks brand new because she wasn't able to travel, you know? And I just didn't want that for myself or my homegirls because past generations. Yeah, so I think you're right. Like I looked at my mother and my grandmother and I was like, hell nah. I'm not doing that. Absolutely not. I want to do as much little work as possible and have as much money. Work smart, not hard. That was my motto because seeing them work so hard and ending up with nothing, I was like, I don't want that for me.
Pink, I think one of your disciples. So, Shawnee, what do you do for a living currently? You said you want to work smarter, not harder.
Yes,
How do
I
you
work
how do you generate revenue now?
I work in e-commerce.
And that's not difficult.
Hell no. I could work from anywhere. I could work from my pillow. I can work in a bonnet. I could work on an island. As long as I got a computer and internet, I can work. So,
And, well, last question, and I'm done. Where's your family from?
the South, I mean Connecticut, but
No,
like,
okay, no. So yeah, you're a Black American then.
yeah,
Okay, cool.
of
That's all I
course.
wanted to
So
know.
yeah, my ancestors were slaves. So
Of
I
course, Dr. B.
I want to say too, to
The
the woman
legend. Hold on,
before
let me
I
do the
jumped off.
intro. The
Oh my
legendary,
gosh, Dr.
the
B,
the
it was
world
quiet. You
renowned,
interrupted.
the incredulous Pink Peel is here. Go ahead. Pink.
um, what she's saying is right though, you guys. These young women, I'm actually doing a video on this because there's this quiet revolution that's happening. These young girls have seen their mothers struggle. They're like, that's it, that's enough, not me, not me. They're doing it with work, they're doing it with relationships, they're doing it that, like, it's just totally, the generation is totally different. Like, they do not think the same way that we do, and I think that it's overall good. But they've just kind of like abandoned all of it, which I didn't think is less good. Because they're like, forget it, I don't want any of it. Which is less optimal. But yeah, a lot of women are where she is, and this is the generation, this is our next generation.
So let me ask y'all a question. If y'all got the opportunity to travel and you're somewhere remote and somebody stops and asks you a question like where you from, where you grew up, community value, how do you respond to that?
you were in the Matrix a bit, the last part.
So I pretty much was stating that imagine if you were to travel, you go somewhere for holiday, and you end up going to the bar or something. You spark up a conversation with somebody, and they never met someone like you, and they ask you, "Tell me about you. Tell me about your community. Tell me what you guys value, and what does that look like?" What are you responding?
Well, I'm a feminist, if you haven't told by now, and that just says a lot. Be like, I'm a feminist. Look it up.
Pink Pill, do you think it's better for women to be sugar babies or to want to marry rich white men? Should they sugar or should they look for white men to marry?
Why are you asking me this?
You are the legend, legendary
You
Pink
say
Pill.
that, I mean, like, there's two different.
I've never been a sugar baby. I don't, how would I
That's what
know?
I'm saying. But I'm sure that there's been some cross pollination between the
No,
swirlers and the sugarers.
no. I
Because
mean,
I've actually heard this from a lot of the swirlers that they started off as sugarers.
well, that doesn't mean that they're my people.
So on the swirling empire that you built, you are the Warren Buffett of swirling of our time. Um,
Uh, uh, what?
yeah, so this the
Okay.
empire of swirling you built. You've amassed a large amount of wealth. I've heard this in numerous conversations with you, Pink, that you said you became very wealthy on the back of the swirl. I
I
actually like.
didn't say. I never said I never said I was very wealthy.
Uh,
I've done very well because
extremely
I
wealthy.
do
You
good
told
work.
us. You told
I
me and
do.
said
I'm
you were
good at
extremely
what I
wealthy.
do.
Yeah, I know. You told me and said you were extremely. You must have forgot. You said you were
Yeah.
extremely
No, I
wealthy.
know. I listen.
I'm with you.
We had
I'm giving
conversation.
you kudos. You
Thank you.
fighting me?
No,
This is
thanks. Go ahead.
wild.
Go
Thank you.
ahead.
Let me please continue to give you your kudos. And I
Okay.
actually like the ice cream where it's half white and half chocolate. Like, it's actually kind of good. I ain't gonna front. If you find a good self serve, a soft ice cream, Dr. Amber. I know y'all probably didn't have that in Haiti growing up. Y'all didn't
Mhm.
have ice cream because y'all didn't get to go outside much. But
Ice cream is
Dr. B,
actually
did you
made
see
out
the
of dirt.
optical
I don't know if you
illusion?
learned that in
uh,
science,
uh,
but ice cream is dirt.
wait, it's
So we
not
had
cold enough in
plenty.
Haiti for ice cream. So, but
We
Dr.
had
B, did you see
plenty.
the optical illusion in that ice cream cone?
I did not. So wait, you put tricks in there? I didn't see that.
Yes, you have to go look.
Let me.
There's an
I gotta look
Easter
at the
egg
book
in
now.
there.
I did not know that. But
You
yeah,
have to
that's
go
actually.
look.
If you can go to McDonald's, McDonald's actually still does the swirl ice cream. It's actually really
I
good. So,
soft serve. It's good.
yes, very good. So okay. So again, I'll retract my question because you don't know about sugaring.
I
Um,
don't know anything about that.
yeah. So like that's because it sounds like a lot of women want to be sugar babies because like they don't want to work, they don't want to get married, they just want money. Like that's kind of like sugaring, right?
Yeah, I okay, so here's the deal with that. Like, ladies, you can
Raquel, your
like
message
it's
is
just not, I mean, I don't know what like the world that you live in, that you don't have to work hard at anything, you don't have to start from the bottom and work your way up. Yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can do it now. Dr. B, look at the PTR and look at the ice cream cone, look at the
I'm
edges
about
of
to
the
go
ice
get
cream
one. I'm
cone.
pulling in McDonald's right now, but I'm look.
Yeah, if you just be, it's my PTR. If you look, there's an optical illusion. You guys, if you get it in the chat, let me know. But I mean, it's a
Wait, I see the faces. What?
yes.
Wow. I never saw that. Let me go get my ice cream cone though.
Anyway, you made me lose my train of thought, Dr. B. I'm gonna go on mute now.